You're listening to the AstroMommy Daily Horoscope, a forecast that hopes to shine a light in the dark, helping us all see where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. Whether you're a first-time listener or a long-time subscriber, thanks for being here. I truly appreciate you being in the AstroMommy community. Without further ado, here is the Daily Horoscope. Don't slip into the quicksand. Pay attention. Daily Horoscope for Monday and Tuesday, October 16th through the 17th, 2023. Good morning, friends. Well, this last weekend was the solar eclipse in Libra. Were you able to see it, either in person or online? I spent Saturday at the Carolina Renaissance Festival, and unfortunately it was overcast during totality, but I was able to glimpse the moon taking the smallest bite out of the bottom corner of the sun once the clouds parted and the sun was visible. I spent a good part of the day contemplating the metaphorical meaning of this. What does it mean to know that an eclipse is happening but not be able to see it until the very end? Does it mean that its effects are that much more elusive, hidden, obscured, or out of left field? Does it predict a surprise of some sort in your life? Eclipse energy is said to last for 6 months until the next cycle of eclipses, so only time will tell exactly what this event heralded in our personal lives and in the world at large. I would love to know if you have any reflections. Also, if you are reading or listening to this, would you do me a favor and give this post a like? It would mean so much to me to know you're here, and it helps the Substack algorithm suggest the AstroMommy Newsletter to new readers. Thank you so much. Okay, let's get into the astrology. All times are in Eastern Time unless mentioned otherwise. Over the weekend, the moon ingressed into the sign of Scorpio, the sign of her fall, which can be a very emotional and dramatic time of the month that feels more intense, focused, driven, and powerful. She made some powerful transits on Sunday, a trine to Saturn in Pisces and a conjunction with Mars in Scorpio, which could have brought up some heated emotions that tested your resolve and ability to manage your feelings. Did you lash out in a Mars-like fashion, or did you control yourself in a Saturn-like way? Then the sun in Libra formed his quincunx to Uranus and Taurus on Sunday evening, representing feeling odd, strange, and restless. Things seem to fit but also feel off. Something is not lining up quite right, but what? Then the moon formed a harmonious sextile to Venus in Virgo, and the opportunity for pleasant pastimes on Sunday night was there. Did you end up having a nice Sunday? What did you do? The transits of Sunday may have felt like you were putting a puzzle together and you got the pieces to fit, but the pictures didn't match. Instead of reworking the puzzle right then and there, you slid it under the couch and decided to take a break, drink some tea, or watch a movie instead with your lover, thinking to yourself, the puzzle can wait another day. Here we are on Monday, and the puzzle is still under the couch. On Monday, the moon is in Scorpio all day, so we may be feeling passionate, driven, and intense with a need to look deeply into ourselves, others, and our situations. It could even feel like picking at a scab or pressing on a bruise to see if it is still healing, and the answer is yes, it's still healing. Maybe don't mess with it, okay? The moon today formed a sesquiquadrate to Neptune in Pisces at 3:13 a.m. and then in opposition to Jupiter in Taurus at 7:30 a.m. Both of these planets are still retrograde. Then at 4:10 p.m. the moon in Scorpio forms a quincunx to Chiron in Aries. This is definitely like picking at a scab. It's time to show some restraint because with the moon opposite Jupiter, this could be indicative of being overly optimistic. If I pick the scab off, it will probably be healed skin under there, and it won't bleed. Negative. It will bleed and require more healing time. Just let it heal. Venus in Virgo is a superb healer, and she is getting closer and closer to a nice trine with Jupiter, but she is not there yet. No need to give her something to heal because you couldn't control yourself and you thought everything would be okay. Plus, Venus in Virgo is vain and doesn't like imperfections. Just chill. Don't pick at scabs today. On Tuesday, the moon will be in Scorpio all day until she ingresses into Sagittarius in the afternoon. In the early morning, the moon in Scorpio will first form an opposition to Uranus in Taurus retrograde, and this is like the gosh darn scab being scraped off on the side of the screen door as you were trying to get through. You were good, you didn't pick at it, but the stupid door sliced it off. It's okay. Whatever surprise comes in and forces you to deal with your deep feelings or circumstances and make you feel victimized, you are going to be able to handle it. You have Band-Aids ready. You have essential oils, ice, or whatever it is that you need to handle whatever scab getting scraped off by the screen door type of situation comes up. You are prepared, aren't you? Then at 6:06 a.m., the moon makes a quincunx to the North Node in Aries. You may be feeling victimized by whatever is going on and just can't believe the irony of the situation. By 7:20 a.m., the moon in Scorpio will perfect a trine to Neptune in Pisces. This could go one of two ways. Either you have a moment where you're feeling good, in tune with the universe, and maybe even calm, or this is like opening up the floodgates of emotions and the waterworks just start to flow out. Art is the answer to either situation. Channel your emotions into your art. Maybe a word poem, am I right? Then at 10:48 a.m., Mercury in Libra makes his quincunx to Uranus in Taurus. The sun made his on Sunday, remember? And now you are learning some new information or receiving some sudden news that makes your life feel like the Twilight Zone. Or it's the spontaneous instinct to pull the puzzle you forgot all about out from under the couch and start to fix it. Actually looking at the pictures on the puzzle pieces instead of just the shape of the pieces themselves this time. The moon in Scorpio helps you out by forming a sextile to Pluto in Capricorn, now direct at 11:43 a.m. You are starting to see how things may fit together in a really pragmatic way, or at least there's the opportunity for them to do so. In the afternoon, the moon ingresses into Sagittarius at 3:36 p.m. and within an hour and a half perfects a square to Saturn. Moon and Saturn in a square is a reality check, but it's one where there is still a possibility to work things out. This is the realization that it's getting late and you will need to finish this puzzle soon, or you'll have to store it for another day. But with the moon in optimistic Sagittarius, you may feel confident that you can figure it out before that happens. Unfortunately, the next transit is the moon in a sesquiquadrate to Chiron in Aries. This means that you store the dang puzzle again. Shoot! No matter, the puzzle of life never ends anyway, right? By the end of the night on Tuesday, we may feel a bit of a letdown as we thought we had figured something out, but reality sinks in and we realize we are right back where we started again. Heads up for Wednesday. The sun will conjoin the south node on Wednesday, which could represent a sinking feeling. Hold space for others and allow yourself grace. It's all in the stars right now. More about that on Wednesday. Let's move on to the card for the day. What is the guidance for today? Yesterday's truth, or what was it I was doing a minute ago? Quote, perhaps you are hanging on to something that had its own truth in the past. There is nothing wrong with working out the past or reminiscing as long as the full flower of present reality is not overlooked, unquote. That's from the little book that comes with the deck. With the sun about to conjoin the south node, which in modern astrology represents the past and previous lessons learned, I feel that this card may represent something coming up from the past that distracts you from paying attention to the present moment. This reminds me of this last weekend when I was at the Renaissance Fair and walking my 4-year-old through the petting zoo. I had brought the monkey, a little backpack stuffed animal with a long tail that you can put on your toddler and allow them to walk freely while you hold the tail to stay connected to them. My daughter was wearing her monkey, giving him a piggyback ride, and I had tucked the tail into the little pocket on the back of the stuffed animal so she could pet the animals without me holding on to her. I thought we were safe to do this in the petting zoo because I expected that I would be literally watching her the whole time. But within the first few minutes, I felt myself wander in my mind, and I looked down and she was not in front of me anymore. I felt a small rush of panic, but quickly found her feeding the goats in the next stall. I pulled the monkey's tail out and grasped it once more, fully aware that this was because I was not able to stay focused in the present moment, and I needed to stay connected to her physically, so I wouldn't lose her in the crowd. These little backpack stuffed animals that look like we have a leash on our kids are as much for them to stay close as they are to jerk the parents out of their heads and into the present moment. It's so easy to just stop paying attention for a second, and that's all it takes for your world to fall into quicksand. So this card is a reminder to pay attention this whole week. We are approaching quicksand, the south node, and we must remain vigilant and at least psychically connected to something that will keep us awake, attentive, and aware of our surroundings, if not physically connected to something. It may be a good week to hold a grounding crystal like smoky quartz, hematite, or onyx. You can carry a small stone in your pocket and literally hold onto it when you feel your attention slip. Let me know if this reading resonates with you in the comments. I hope this is helpful. Until tomorrow, AstroMommy. You can purchase Astro Prepper t-shirts at Metaphysical Flamingo, the family Etsy shop. Thank you for reading or listening to the Daily Horoscope. Quick links and resources can be found at the bottom of the newsletter. Today's card was pulled from Morgan's Tarot, available on Amazon. If you seek knowledge and enlightenment, the AstroMommy Newsletter may be right for you. Side effects of reading or listening to the AstroMommy Newsletter are common and include joy, jubilation, delight, happiness, gratitude, love, triumph, feeling in tune with the universe, experiencing deep insights, reflections, and contemplations, a lightened soul, a lighter step, feeling awake when others are asleep, illuminated, enlightened, having spiritual experiences, noticing repeating numbers, animals in nature, or songs on the radio that speak to you, getting vibes, clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsmelliance, feeling like you know secret language, biophilia, crying tears of joy, emotional literacy, feeling lively, stable, exalted, having an auric glow, or feeling like you woke up on the right side of the bed have all been reported. If you purchase anything through the affiliate links that I provide in the newsletters, I will make a very small commission. Thanks for listening.